and welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and we barely made this one just in time. So I was just having a pour or two, and I'm like, wait, I still have this final pour episode to record. So if you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. If you're a returning viewer, always good to see you again. So what is the final pour, Mr. Randy? Well, final pour is the third and final part in the series that I do when I review a whiskey. First part is off the rip. I get it home, I crack it open, I have the first pour, and I share my first impressions with you. That's because I care about you. I share. I love to share. Don't you like to share? So you can tell I've had a few drinks, like I said, had a few pours, and I'm like, oh crap, we're getting to that point. So let's go ahead and pull out the camera / phone, and let's do the video, right? So here we are with the final pour of the Macleods Island Expression, not to be confused with Isla, which I surely did. That's going to be finished for sure in just a moment, so don't worry about that. So it's got a nice color. It still has, I don't really ever expect a Scotch or bourbon or whiskey period to lose its color over time. But looking at the viscosity, it's still got some good viscosity, which it did for the first part and the second part. Under the nose, it's still, even after all this, it still has a more bourbon forward nosing. It's still a pencil eraser bourbon whiskey. It is matured. I didn't find out whether it was finished or matured, but I'm definitely leaning towards the matured in ex-bourbon barrels as opposed to the finish, because the finish would give it a very light characteristics, not as overwhelming. These characters, these bourbon characters, are overwhelming the Scotch. There is that sweet Scotch that you get, that sweet characteristic to the Scotch. It's in there. It's like right behind that oak sweet spice. Right behind that bourbon, it opens up with the sweetness of the Scotch. It's nice. It's definitely a bottle that you might want to consider if you're a bourbon lover and you haven't tried Scotch, or if you're a bourbon lover and it's hard for you to find a Scotch you like. Here's another one for you. Macleods Island Single Malt Scotch Whiskey. Matured in ex-bourbon casks for who knows how long, because they're not telling us a whole lot. And once again, if you forgot, or you need a refresher, Macleods is basically like Johnny Walker. They own 20 different brands, and each one has multitudes of expressions. This one is the signature line from Macleods. Ian Macleod of the Clan Macleods, to be more precise. It's got a nice nose. Like I said, you got to really get past that bourbon to get to the Scotch. Let's get on the palate. Oh, it's still got that oiliness. You don't get oiliness in the mouthfeel like that from a bourbon. No, sir, you do not. At least I never have. If there's a bourbon, like a real straight bourbon out there that has a real nice, rich, oily mouthfeel to it, let me know in the comments. I just might track it down, and then I'd give you credit, of course. It's still pretty good on the palate. It's still bourbon forward. You get bourbon first, and then the Scotch comes in second, and then the peatiness comes in dead last. It's still a good one. It's still a good whiskey. Now, I don't know if the crafter, the master distiller, craftsman, I don't know if this is what they were going for, but this is what we came out with, and I'm saying that's good enough, I guess. I don't particularly care for anything that puts a bourbon characteristics first in a Scotch. If you want to drink that, that's fine. Most Scotch drinkers, they kind of like to be to have their Scotch finished in ex-bourbon casks or barrels. It gives it a little bit of that good smokiness, a little bit of that oaky sweetness and spice. It's not bad. But when the bourbon pretty much overrides the Scotch, that's when I'm like, it's a good bourbon. I guess I'd have to say it was a good bourbon. It's a really good bourbon. It's better than most bourbon I've had. Let's go ahead and get a finish on it. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, you see that? That's got some really nice viscosity. And it really translates well in the mouth. So, not so much the tip of the tongue, but more of the top. There's just a little bit on the cheeks, not a whole lot. So the nose has not diminished very much from the halfway point. The palate, same way, has not diminished much at all. And now we're on the finish. I gotta say, I think the finish is still what it is. I mean, it's not diminished by much at all. So there you go. I mean, straight through, nose, palate, finish. I mean, it's all pretty much the same as I can remember from the halfway point. I'm doing so many reviews. Actually now, no, I take that back, strike that. I'm doing less reviews now. Because sometimes I feel like these review process start melding together. And if I do a bourbon one, and then the next one I do is a Scotch, and the next one I do is a sake or something like that, I try and give myself some time between the two, or between each one, so that I can sort of reset. So if I'm having a sake, or if I'm drinking wine, I'm going to have a half wine, half sake being influenced by a bourbon, and I might not be able to give that bourbon a proper review. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. I know some of you don't drink anything outside of one category or the other. Some of you are only bourbon. Some of you are only Scotch. Some of you are only wine. And I don't get a whole lot of comments back on the wine, although I know I do see that they are being watched. I do know that there are people out there interested in the wine and pushing me to go forward with the wine. And that's what I'm going to do. You're going to see more wine videos. There's also a lot of other issues going on with the channel. I like to do channel updates. But if you see a video that seems like it's out of order, you can comment and let me know. But just understand that I have so much content in the mix right now. And I think probably 50% of my content, at least 50%, is unpublished. Scheduled, but unpublished. I've been working the past month to sort of consolidate these videos. So now I think we're running about at least 2 videos a day, Monday through Friday. Sometimes 3 videos a day. Holidays might get more than a couple. I'm just trying to open the floodgates a little more and release a little bit more of this content out. And by the time this one reaches you, there's probably going to be a whole different change up. But I've been slowing down a little bit to try and give each one a little bit more time. But it's all about timing for other reasons, scheduling, timing, other things going on around me. I do them when I can do them, and then I work it out while I'm not able to record anything. So there it is. What do you think about Macleods? Have you tried it? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. You have a good one.